Our guest today is Alexandra Devarenne of the Extra Virgin Alliance, and she's here to help us separate olive oil fact from olive oil fiction. Welcome to the show, Alexandra.
Thank you very much.
If you were inside of a supermarket and you had 30 seconds to choose olive oil, where are you going to go? What are you going to choose? What are you looking for?
The first thing I think I would look for is a best before date that is not tomorrow.
Nobody does that. Nobody's looking at the expiration date or best before date on olive oil. Nobody. I don't even do that.
Yeah, and that's why if I go into a fancy deli or market and there's bottles, but they have a light film of dust on their shoulders, that's not a great sign, because I want to make sure I'm getting an olive oil that is, moving. It's got to be being restocked and being sold, not something that's been sitting on a shelf forever.
So it's important to have a good turnover rate with these olive oils, because the fresher the better?
Within certain parameters. I actually like to compare olive oil to shoes. So when you have, say, two pairs of shoes, one pair of shoes you got at, I'm not going to name names, but the cheapo shoe store, and the other pair is a pair of well-made with leather shoes. So the plastic shoes and the leather shoes, when they're brand new, both are pretty good. They look kind of similar. What really tells is as you wear those shoes, the cheap shoes, the plastic shoes, the poorly made shoes go to pieces. They start looking really shabby and old very quickly. Well-made shoes, those other shoes, they hold up better. They do better. And olive oils are somewhat the same, that you have a well-made olive oil, especially, and it must be well taken care of. And this is something that we can get into, is best practices in storage and display and stuff. But they age better. So when people say, oh, it has to be the most recent harvest, I look for an olive oil that is ideally from the most recent harvest, but sometimes you can find an oil that's 2 years old, it's been well taken care of, it will be in absolutely perfect condition.
How on earth do people know which olive oil to buy then?
Olive oil shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah.
And the industry has to bear responsibility for that in many ways. I think that there's so much disinformation, misinformation, conflicting information that people get in front of the olive oil set and they freeze. They're paralyzed. Just buy it. Just choose and look out for something that is too cheap. If it's too cheap to be true, it is not true.
How do I know if an olive oil company is blending other oils in their olive oil?
The chances of that in U.S. retail are virtually nil.
Huh.
The problem of adulteration is not a thing. It is really not a thing. Really what people need to look out for, and this is where that extra super ultra cheap off-brand that you've never heard of, those are kind of the red flags. But if you're buying any one of the major brands in a supermarket in the U.S. retail, adulteration is not a thing.
And I'm seeing a lot of what I see, there are two lanes here. I see the cooking olive oil and then the, drizzling olive oil. Is that still true that you should can I use the drizzling to cook with?
Sure, if you have the money.
Yeah.
See, and to me, it's a question of economics. Yeah. If you can afford to buy fabulous olive oil to cook with, go for it. Why not? But I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it is more important that people look for an olive oil that they like and that they can afford. An extra virgin, for me, extra virgin is all of it.
What does that mean, extra virgin?
Extra virgin is the highest grade of virgin olive oil. Virgin olive oil is olive oil that's mechanically extracted. It has all of the natural phytochemicals, the polyphenols, the sterols, all of the things that go into an olive and an olive oil. They're all there.
Yeah, I want to tell you a few myths, or perhaps they're not myths, about olive oil that I've heard of. Clear glasses, the light can affect the olive oil. Is that true?
That is not a myth. That is absolutely true.
Is it okay to buy olive oil in a plastic squeeze bottle?
If that's what you want, sure.
Okay.
It's just not going to be in that in that bottle too long. And chefs for years have been putting it in a squeeze bottle and using it because it's convenient.
Right, of course.
And that's important. Olive oil should be convenient. That's one of the reasons why we tell people don't put it in the refrigerator.
Of course.
You don't want to have to wait to use it. You want it to be available so you can use it all the time at every meal.